Welcome to Yumi Connections. This is my first joint episode or segment with a friend of mine, a really, really dear friend, a mentor. As I said earlier, I would like to share with you friends and mentors who have poured into my life. This is Edward L. Fairley. He is the creator, the owner, the visionary who initiated No Love Inc. I'm going to let him share a little bit about what that means. But he's important in that love is just a key critical component of success in any area of our lives. So I wanted him to share a little bit about who he is and what No Love Inc. is.
Well, I am Edward L. Fairley. Thank you for introducing me and for having me on your your show and,
Yes.
or vlog or whatever this grows to be. I'm excited for it either way. I
It's
am
the beginning of something. We don't know where it's
most
going to
certainly,
end up.
and hopefully it'll just fall on good soil. I am Edward L. Fairley. I am the founder and CEO of No Love Incorporated, which is a holistic relationship company and education firm that just empowers intellectuals on how to experience love on purpose as opposed to by chance or happenstance. It empowers individuals so that they can end up coaching or counseling themselves through their relationship experiences or even issues. So that's what No Love is about, is just empowering people so that they can experience love on purpose. So many do it by chance, and if you're doing it by chance, it cannot be consistent, and you can easily lose it. But if you understand what's going on, you can experience it all the time.
And that's really key about what you said is that he did not use relationships in the term of romantic relationships, and that's pretty important. So, could you give us a little bit of detail of why you kind of didn't, let it go toward the romantic love?
Well, because it all goes together. I mean, relationships are in general, they go together, whether it leads to romantic or just a friendship or even in our case family.
Yes.
It's just something that if it's done correctly, it can be, no matter what the platform or the situation or the setup, it just works.
It does just work. Okay, this works, and sometimes we are yin and yang, and sometimes we are up and down, and sometimes I don't get why he doesn't smile. I have a lot of energy. He has some, but he's potent when it comes to really being clear about what you're trying to say. So what I wanted to talk about is, I'm going to use myself. One of the areas that I've really always had an issue with is in being transparent, I would say, and that translates into the buzzword authentic. Authentic is a huge thing these days. Everybody likes to, can we just keep it real? And we're in Yumi Connections. We're always talking about interpersonal relationships as relates to career and professional and personal development. Well, keeping it real has two connotations and two sides to that. What does keeping it real mean to you? To me, keeping it real means, can I just be myself unedited all the time and just people accept me for who I am? Well, as an employer, sorry, I'm not paying you to be yourself all day, just unedited, unfiltered, and just being. So, what does that mean to you?
Typically, when people have to introduce a title or a phrase or what have you, it's to hide an actual issue that they have with themselves. Just to say I'm keeping it real is more than likely someone saying I don't want to take the time to evolve into a better person, as opposed to being authentic, where you are being true to yourself and unapologetically being true to yourself, but not disrespecting someone in the process. So being authentic, that just means that you love who you are and you are okay with that, but you can still respect other people's views in the process and even treat them with respect in that interaction.
And being authentic doesn't mean that you have to prove yourself more valuable than someone else, right? So, for example, in the workplace, when I'm coaching, and I find people who are trying to help me to understand, why can't my boss just accept the fact that this is how I communicate and meet me where I am as I accept them? Well, in some cases, you don't have the liberty of kind of expecting someone else to accept you the way you are. You're in a situation where you're expected to adapt, right? Sometimes adapting can be perceived as selling out. I when I've navigated my career, I've adapted. I've been chameleon-like in some ways because I've done everything, right? So I've done sales, and I've done community engagement, and I've done management, and I've done media, and all of those different careers require a different side of myself. That's not necessarily selling out, but it can sometimes come across as schizophrenia. Which one are you today? But explain to me what you feel about adapting and keeping it real, or being true to yourself.
All right, so here's the contradiction in the whole statement of I'm keeping it real. Excuse me.
Yeah,
or
me.
or deciding that I'm not going to adapt, because I don't want to call it being a hypocrite. It is being a hypocrite because
a little bit, right?
Yeah, if you are frustrated because they won't receive how you do things, that means you're not being receptive to how they do things. So it's a selfish statement, and with anything, it's going to take teamwork. So oftentimes people don't even communicate that this is my learning style, my training style, whatever. So that doesn't even give that person an opportunity to adapt to you. And also, if you don't take the time to learn their style, you cannot respond to them so that you two can work together effectively. So if it takes for you two to work together, you have to, for one, learn that person so that you can provide them with what they need so that you two can successfully get to where you need to go. And when you do provide them with what they need, they'll be more receptive to giving you what you need.
Right.
And
so
that's when it'll work
about
together.
Who's first. I think sometimes, and again,
oh, that's a great statement.
About who's
first. Nobody wants to be first.
Nobody wants to be the first to acquiesce and say, how do you learn? How can I help you? How can I better communicate with you to get to where I need an understanding, right?
It's even deeper than that. It's like, I don't want to give in first. They need to respect me. You know, they say it all the time. To get respect, you got to give respect. Yeah. So when do you give it first? So you need to give it. Go ahead and give it, or just at least show them that you can, so that they will be receptive to giving you that quote unquote respect.
All